And we are live, like a Swiss clock, basically exactly 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Hello, everybody, live from Los Angeles. But today we are going to do something special. Actually, we're going to go live to Munich very shortly. I'm so happy to be back in action again, guys, and so pleased that we are bringing out another major update to Colourlab AI version 1.4, and this version we are really dedicating to the ITs, and we wanted to do this for a long time. We have many DITs that are part of our community, and we've been listening to what they need and how they would like to work and how useful it is for them, because being able to quickly match shots, color manage shots, make looks is just really integral part of a DIT's workflow. And we couldn't have found a better partner to make our software more useful, because as like we always like to partner with companies like we did with DaVinci, to make color grading a little bit better. And the partner that we're going to be doing live stuff for DITs is Pomfort. That I'm sure if you have done anything on set, you must have heard of them, because they pretty much own this territory. They are the gold standard for any DIT work. And for the past 6 months, we've been carefully working with them, analyzing the workflow and thinking, how we could best integrate artificial intelligence into the DIT's workflow. And actually, what I'm about to present, I'm pretty sure you're all going to like. It's actually wonderful, what we did. We're pretty proud on achievement on development from both sides. Pomfort did a great work for integration, and we actually are going to also show you a feature that originally we were going to leave, for the version 2, but I just couldn't resist the temptation to actually bring it into you now, because I found that this particular tool is going to be irreplaceable for you as a DIT. So actually, I'm super excited, to share with you this news. Hey, so we got somebody from Indonesia. Very good. And Italy. Hey, hello, everybody. Good to see you all. Good to see you all. Okay, so just basically, as I said, I am bringing you a special guest from Germany, and his name is Vanya Nolte. And Vanya is a product manager for Pomfort for Livegrade. And I'm just going to go and see whether Vanya is still with us. So 1 second. Vanya, you there? Excellent. You're there.
Hello.
Good. Yeah, I mean, there is always moment of expectation, when I switch to see, hey, is the line still working? Are we still live? But you are live, and this is fantastic. Vanya, we wanted to ask you a couple of questions first before we start. So do you want to just introduce yourself quickly to our audience so they just get to know you, who you are and what you do?
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Vanya Nolte, and I'm product manager for Livegrade at Pomfort. And first of all, thank you, Dado, and the whole Colourlab Ai team for organizing the stream. We are excited that Livegrade Studio has another built-in integration as of today. Livegrade Studio is the flagship of Pomfort's digital imaging applications, and it is optimized for multi-camera setups and offers multiple built-in third-party integrations for extended workflows.
Excellent.
And yeah,
Vanya, just a quick
yeah.
question. So, what is the difference, between Livegrade and Livegrade Studio? I just really want to kind of, clear that, because, our
Sure.
integration is going to work only with Studio, simply because, it is quite, a sophisticated piece of, in software engineering that had to happen in the background, and it was only possible to do it with Studio. But maybe you can just explain, apart from this, what is really the main difference between, Livegrade and Livegrade Studio?
Well, Livegrade Pro, which is the smaller application, there it's more for one DIT who works on his card, and and he can do everything he can do in Livegrade Studio with regards to color grading and metadata, etc. But in Livegrade Studio, there are some features that are optimized for bigger productions, where you also integrate, for example, with other departments and also with third-party applications, and last but not least, for multi-camera setups.
Which is really what
That's
happens a lot.
the
Yeah.
main difference. Yes,
Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
like television kind of really loves to shoot to camera so that they're faster, basically. So this is, I could imagine you really need a library studio then for most of the TV work. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can do a lot with Livegrade Pro, but I think Livegrade Studio makes life easier, and we continue to evolve the product, and now with this new integration, it's one more step, and like I said, it's also for extended workflow. So what happens after the DIT work on
Ah.
set, that and for example the color front pipeline or the QTake video assist system, we offer integrations within Livegrade Studio for that as
Nice,
well. Yeah,
nice,
yeah.
nice.
So
So tell me, like, because basically today, we have done a synchronized release, basically. So we have just released Colourlab 1.4, and you guys did Library Studio 5.4.2, which I believe just an hour ago has become live. So guys, so just so you know, like, you can go and download both of these versions now, and you can start, benefiting from this integration. But tell us, apart from like this particular feature integration with Colourlab AI, what other new things are you bringing in 542?
no, 542 is just the Colourlab AI
Okay.
integration, but we just had another release, 5.4, which was a few weeks ago, and there you get multiple media folders so that you can work with multiple hard drives within one project, for example, and you're very flexible, and you can also exchange your work with other cards, other DITs, other team members, and
Mm.
really exchange projects with media. Yeah, because that was a missing link, and that is also one Livegrade Studio only feature that you can only work that you can also work with multiple hard drives. So
Mm.
if you run out of media space, you can just add a new um,
Yeah, I understand.
target, and you never run out of space now.
Excellent.
So
So
that's
Vanya, if you agree with me, do you mind that if I would now like to show how our integration works? But please stay with us, because in case there are any questions that come up from the audience, I would love you to be available to maybe answer them. I'm just going to
Mhm.
go now and switch and start showing my desktop, but please be there, stay with us, because I might come back to you later on just to kind of check with you if there are any specific questions in terms of workflow or anything that might be coming from the audience.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I will stay here for more questions, and I'm looking forward to your presentation. Thank you.
Excellent. And thank you, Vanya. Thank you
Yeah.
for joining us. I'm so happy actually we're doing this. Excellent. Fantastic. So guys, basically, first I want to show you a couple of things, like in no particular order. I'm going to just go through like, what really is happening. First, I want to show you how we have integrated the two products. And then I want to show you a brand new tool we developed, which is the AI exposure tool. And then also I want to show you some interesting things that you can now do actually, with Colourlab AI and Livegrade, which is kind of, just, what in a day-to-day life of a DIT you probably will be dealing with, and how now this is all going to become a little bit easier. So what you see here is just a surface of, Pomfort Livegrade Studio, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and load an image. And so imagine that this is now coming as a live feed from the camera. So I'm basically, just emulating that, I'm shooting, I'm on set, and this is like the live feed that's coming back. All right, so what I do next is I then go and actually what would be good is if I was to load my Colourlab Ai. Okay, so let's do that very quickly. I have actually closed it just before the presentation started to, to save, something, and then I forgot to open it before. So sorry for that. It's just loading. So the version is 1.4, and it is available. If you go and log into your account, you are going to be able to download it from there. Also, we do have, so just as a reminder, we do have a free demo version. So 1.4 is also available as a free trial, as a free demo version that you can download and play around with it and see how it works. So now we have a new icon here that appears. And by the way, if you're not using Livegrade, you can switch off this icon in preferences. But if you're the IT, you probably want it here. And what you do then is you just press here Livegrade grab. Okay, so what is this going to do is this going to then take the image from your camera feed, from Livegrade, whatever was loaded in your slot at the moment, and bring it into Colourlab Ai. Okay, so once I'm in here, for example, the first thing probably I would want to do is I would want to go and apply some sort of Showlut. So I'm just going to do that. So let's say this is my Showlut, and then but maybe what I do as well want to do is I want to now go and say, well, you know what? Maybe I want to use this reference still as a kind of my reference for the look. Maybe, this could be now I loaded just a still I got from ShotTech, but you could also imagine that could be a still reference maybe from previous day of shooting, whatever, you just basically load a still image, that is the reference that you want for this particular scene. And then what you do is you press S, for match from still. Then we're going to analyze it, and bang, we're going to go and match it, to basically that still. As you can see, it did a pretty good job. And then what I do then is I just say Livegrade push. Okay, so once I do that, I'm not going to save actually. Thank you very much. I'm going to push it now over. And what is then going to happen over in Livegrade? Okay. Now I'm going to get following things. So look, so first of all, that look that I created in Colourlab Ai has instantly become available inside Livegrade in form of a Showlut, basically. So you see, this is the Showlut that we applied earlier, and a CDL settings. Okay, so now basically everybody, the whole video village and everybody involved has now got this look available to them, and they can basically see it and they can say, okay, this is amazing. This is the look that they want, perfect, let's go with it. So, it's very, very quick, now to, get an image, to double check what was that, how did that scene look like, what happened in the past and so on. Now, there is now another good advantage by working and managing looks with Colourlab Ai, which is because Colourlab Ai is fully color managed. So let's say, for example, that this particular shot here, right? It's this particular image here is coming from a different camera. It's, let's say, we're shooting Ari and then something's also being shot as red, okay? Now, what is really cool is because Colourlab Ai is fully color managed, I'm just gonna go and do another Livegrade grab, okay? So now what I can do is I can then say, well, you know what? Actually, I'm not shooting with Ari Log C here. Let's say I'm shooting with, Blackmagic, Gen 5, right? And then I'm just going to go select that camera. So now I have already adapted my Showlut that we have selected and that we built for the A camera, already adapted it now to my B camera. It could be your drone camera, could be your, whatever, like else, you need to do. And then I could still go and say, well, give me my, still image, that I had as a reference. I want to go and match it, again to that image. Perfect. I'm going to go and do a live push again, right? And then what's going to happen is going to just create again a set of Showlut and a CDL. And what's really cool is that now this Showlut is made particularly for this particular camera. So you have exactly the same look, but you're applying it for different cameras, and we are managing all this color for you in the background, and you have these Showluts in 65 point cubes, so you can then use them for anything else, for posts and so on. And now, we are really, really good to go. So this is like, probably one of the, most time-saving features that I believe you're going to get from this integration, that, this kind of matching looks, matching shots, matching cameras is just going to become so easy. But there is more, and I want to show you more. And for that, I'm going to just go back into Colourlab Ai, and I want to show you a new tool, a brand new tool that we have developed. And this is just a kind of something to show you, maybe give an idea of things that are coming. And what are we building actually is, I already said, that we're building a brand new color matching, for the next version of Colourlab that is just, going to be so much better. And then I kind of felt like, if we could push this and give this now to DITs, I think it would be like absolutely amazing to them. As you know already, in our past release, we started supporting Adlakman zones. So you see, like, why I can now have a scene referred analysis. It's basically almost like having a light meter analyze the shot. Now, a DP could tell me, like, could you then please, okay, bring me the face maybe a half a stop down, or can you first expose the face to be the neutral? So what I do is here, look, there is this new little icon here with this new tool. So I click on that, and then I go and I just kind of, make a lasso around the face, right, that I want. And now what I did is I have then analyzed, this particular part of this face, okay? And I have then established as what is the neutral, gray neutral exposure for this particular part of an image. I could also like go and say, well, just, maybe I want to just go and analyze only this part of an image, or I could just say maybe analyze this part of an image. You have a total freedom to draw on your image and decide what part of image exactly. So you could be pretending that you're doing spot metering, or you could be doing like a zone metering, right? So let's say I'm going to go and do like this, like this is probably like where I want this neutral to be. But this is not everything. If you then right mouse click here, you have a choice to get that exposure and put it in a stop accurate region. So for example, we want actually this face to be a stop down, because it's a little bit darker scene, it's a kind of moodier setting. So what I do is I say -1, and as I do that, that particular part of the face, gets brought down to stop down, and you can see straight away on the, Adlakman zones how this is looking, okay? And now, once I'm happy with this, once I'm happy with that exposure, I can then just go and say, yeah, give me the, Livegrade push. I push it live. And that particular exposure settings gets applied live in form of offset. So you see, we basically translate, the exposure exactly into offset values that you would want to translate when you're working in log. And we get now like a perfect, the accuracy of this tool is beyond, something that we ever had so far. We never had a tool in our, arsenal that would allow us to actually, circle around part of an image and give us exactly exposure values for that, and be able to control that exposure in such an accurate way how we are doing it right now. We never had that before. And this is really, what I find, absolutely, fascinating. Now, actually, I'm just going to go and load like some more media files, just so that, instead of like grabbing them all the time from Livegrade, I'm just going to put them into Colourlab Ai. And this is actually also going to be Ari camera. There we go. So this is my Ari. Fantastic. So for example, like let's say I'm now in this shot here, and I want to just show you a little bit, play with this tool to see how powerful it is. So you see, I could just say, okay, let me see like what would happen if I was just to put the left part of the face on -1. Actually, let me put this on 0, right? Or what happens if I put the right part of her face to 0, so you see? Or I could say, no, give me the average. So the average is going to be like between, these eyes. And now I have an average, between left and right part of the face to what it is. And now I can just go and say, okay, maybe just a half a stop less is actually really what I want. And then what it is really is that you can very quickly like go through your shots and imagine like, I remember like when I used to work in Britain and we used to shoot exteriors and there is a constantly sun going in and out, how hard it was, for us to actually like, match these shots in exposure, because there's always a cloud coming in and coming out. And I was always like, trying to figure out, usually doing it by eye and trying to understand, hey, what would happen? And now you see, I can just go and draw like a, my area of interest really to where I want it, and just making sure that this particular, so you see this shot is now significantly darker, right? But I can just say, no, I need the face to be exactly exposed, and bang, look, these two exposures match absolutely perfectly. And all I did is I just clicked on it, and lassoed it. And I mean, this, guys, is going to be an incredible, incredible time saver. Okay, I want to just also come back, to this particular shot and show you a couple of other more advanced tools that you can use inside Colourlab AI when you're building your looks. So, let's go back to our reference stills. If I now go, for example, here, and let me see, I think I had like another still image I quite liked. Yeah, maybe, maybe, you know what, maybe this image here. Okay, let me load this image again so that I can actually, just show you what it is. Okay, good. So what I can do is, as you know, we also have advanced match settings, okay? So what these advanced match settings do is they basically allow me to go and be a little bit more precise to what exactly I'm matching. Okay, and this is exactly what you do. I'm going to switch everything to no, and I'm going to use Venice color model. So what I can do is I can say, okay, look, I am happy, generally how this looks, but I only want to get the color from the reference shot. And all you do then is say match color to reference, yes, bang. And we just apply the color match, right? Another thing that I can do is I can say, well, I really like how this shot looks, but maybe I only want to match contrast as well. Then you just click on that, and then it's going to go and do the contrast. And then what I can do is I can just go highlight, my basically exposure tool, and I can say, okay, give me this here now, and I want this to be like a, maybe on 0. Fantastic. That's a bit too much. Let's stay half a stop down. And now I'm going to go and push it to Livegrade, and bang, I'm going to go and very quickly be able to engineer this particular look. And I think this is really like, where I feel it, the life for DITs on set is just going to change, because they're going to be able really to offer cinematographers all these options. They're going to be able to say, well, like I can just go and sometimes, for example, we have to match just the color temperature. Like maybe there is a shot, a reference shot, and everything's exposed correctly, but the color temperature is not quite there. Then you do this advanced match for color, and bang, you matched only the temperature. Sometimes you want to say, okay, no, let's just match the contrast only, or let's sometimes just match the exposure. So you have a really all the tools now available to you to be able to work like that. And then, in addition to all of that, don't forget, guys, that what we have actually here is also a look designer, which is, by far the most advanced, look design tool. Some people think like, oh, it's just for making filmic looks, but it's not. This is a tool that you can actually create and build Showluts professionally. It is built for professional color scientists who need to do this for living, and it has some most amazing tools inside that actually will allow you to start building your Showluts. And why is this, really so important, and why do you really want to do this? Is because, with the look designer built in, you are not locked so much into your Showlut. You can actually go and modify these Showluts and work with them in any way. I'm just quickly going to build you one just to see how it works. So I'm going to go and for example, select, 52. Let me see. I have here some that I really like by the end of it. Now where is my 50? There we go, 52 or 350. Okay, fantastic. So this is one. Let me go and increase, intensity of that. And then I'm gonna go and apply Kodak 2383 contrast, and I'm gonna print it exactly to that 2383, right? And then I'm gonna go, and I always do a little FPE film process. And then what I'm gonna do is my kind of favorite tool is this little kind of subtractive color that kind of helps me with a little crosstalk of colors like that, and I get my own custom behavior for my look at this now. look at how nicely this looks. A little bit desaturated, just to kind of make it a little bit moodier. And look, in no time at all, I was able to go and design and the most beautiful look. And then I can go and test this look and I can say, okay, how does this look in lightness? Looks okay. How does it look in saturation? It's looking okay. I can then go and check it on my scopes. By the way, we changed this interface here. So now you can just right mouse click and then you can select what you want to see. So if I want to see of my vector scope, I can see just right mouse click like that. And then also we have a tone map curve as well. And for that, I obviously want my waveform. So now I'm able to analyze and do all the Showlut design and everything that I need to do to check the quality of my Showlut inside Colourlab AI. Are we happy with this? Seems that, yeah, we're all good. Excellent. I'm going to say Command E to exit it. I'm going to call it show look, let's say 10, right? And now what I can do is I can then just go and push this particular show look. So you see, like I can just come here, apply this show look to this particular shot, push it to my Livegrade, right? And now this particular, look, that I just created is going to be applied live on set. Everyone's got it. Now we have all the metadata now, right? We have everything that we need and that we want. Now, let's say somebody says, oh, I really like this look, but can I have it in slightly different version? Of course, no problem. You can say LUT export, and then you can output it in with the different profiles. Let's say, for example, they decide we want to view that same look, but in HDR, right? No problem at all. I just go and select it here, and I say HDR10, Rec 2020, right? And suddenly I have the same Showlut for HDR. You could also do the same here if I was to want to monitor the same look in HDR, which I believe is just coming, like we're going to start seeing this happening more and more. So you see, I just switch my output to PQ. Again, I just, Livegrade push, and it goes now to Livegrade. And what I'm going to get here is exactly that look in PQ, basically output and ready to be viewed on the HDR monitors. So like you see how quickly now you're going to do it, and speed is everything on set. Like being fast and being able to do these things fast is everything. I mean, there is nothing that, production hates, that when you are like, have to fiddle around, load that takes 5 minutes to find it, copy it, load it, export it, they don't like that. They don't like that. They want, production to keep rolling, not necessarily wait for the DIT to load a lot. And now you actually, have this flexibility to do whatever you want with it, look in real time, because just by clicking loading profiles, sending them to Livegrade, you're just going to go and have an incredibly, good, workflow. So I think this is gonna, guys, help you a lot. And we're going to go and also make some more tutorials and instructions to how you're going to be able to make most out of it and how you're going to be able to work with it. I'm just going to go quickly and check on the chat and see if there is any questions or you guys have anything. Please go ahead and just type in the question in the chat. I still have Vanya here. So Vanya, you still there? Excellent.
Yes.
We can hear you. So, Vanya, that was just a quick demo. Like I really didn't want to go, like I just kind of gave a little overview to really, what is now possible, what we can do. I'm just going to now check to see if there is any questions from our audience in the chat. No, not that I can see at the moment. Everyone seems to be like happy, or maybe there is a little delay, before we start to get questions. But in the meantime, Vanya, do you have anything that you want to add to this presentation right now?
From my testing, I think Colourlab AI works pretty good. I think what's important to say is that you can you can make the perfect look within Colourlab AI and push it to Livegrade. That's great, but you can, of course, you also have the flexibility to use the look you created within Colourlab AI as a starting point for Livegrade.
Yes.
And do your tweaks in Livegrade. I think that's important to know that it's not the finished look, because as soon as it's in Livegrade, you can still make your tweaks, and you can also extend the CDL and LUT grading mode to CDL Advanced, for example, where you have curves and secondaries and everything.
Ah, you see. And I think this is actually the most beautiful thing, that these looks are, they don't really lock you in. They are basically like,
Exactly.
just a color metadata that is fully compatible, and later actually you send those that same
Yeah,
metadata for dailies grading, so they can be changed later in dailies. Again, you can just start using it like that as well, and so on. So
exactly.
yes.
Yeah, yeah, and it's good that it works with CDL and LUT because those are, of course, still the standard file formats for most productions, as all of the DITs know.
Yeah.
So I think that's good that you can do great things, powerful things within Colourlab AI, but it's still compatible,
Yeah, it
still
doesn't
in
it
the
doesn't
compatible
just make
format.
something
Yeah,
happen and you can't
yeah.
touch it, right? It's presented to you in a form of, this is always what we wanted to do. Listen, I'm so happy that, after, this long period, we have finally managed to, come to this release. I can't tell you, like, how happy I am, and actually I can't wait to see, what DITs are going to make out of it. All our audience seems to be, everybody seems to be happy at the moment. Not any big questions. This is great news. Guys, I want to thank you all for tuning in and for watching this little update 1.4. I hope you like it. I hope you like our new exposure tool. I hope you love this new integration. Vanya, thank you very much for all your hard work, and for support, from your team and your developers. It was just such a pleasure to work with you, and I'm so looking forward to more things, to come. And once we get this out, we're probably going to hear interesting feedback from our users, and hopefully, be able in the future to further improve, workflows, and make life easier, to people who work on set.
Sure, sure. I'm sure about that.
Thank you very much.
Cool.
For
Thank
for
you. Thank you.
bye, Vanya, and I'm looking forward,
Bye bye.
to for the next time. Thank you so much, and for all of you guys, thank you as well for tuning in. Tomorrow we have Ed Lachman doing a talk where he's going to explain his zones on our Summer Look Academy. So don't miss that one. And yeah, I mean, actually, like, go ahead and download the trial, or demo of this. If you have any questions, please feel free to email help@Colourlab Ai, where we can answer, your specific questions and how best to utilize, this new technology in your workflow. I'm looking forward to seeing, you save yourself a lot of time on set and just being more efficient and better at your job. Take care, everybody, and I'm looking forward to the next update, which is actually going to come, probably sooner. We think, we're working like a very, very fast at the moment. There is lots of new things happening, so watch this space. Thank you, guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.